feeling like a pimp, go on, brush your shoulders off. Type of facts are those. If you grew up with holes in your zap of toes. Bounce is back.
What up, though? You might not be invited to the cookout, but you can come to the kickback. And this is the first episode of a new series I'm launching, the Kickback Music Edition. We're going to be looking back at old album reviews, typically at least 15 years old. I want to try and do 20 years. We'll play it by ear. And today we're looking at the Black Album by Jay-Z. And I came up with this idea because I was just thinking about the source, how that used to be like this big thing in hip hop. And then I think it was when basically it kind of people just said fuck the source when Benzino gave his album 4 mics or 4.5 mics. But anyway, I was trying to find the blueprint, the Black Album review in the source, but apparently they didn't catalog their stuff, or I don't know how you find it. But Pitchfork has a lot of their old reviews that you can find. So we're going to be looking at the review for the Jay-Z, the Black Album. Now, the source did 5 mics. That was the thing. That's what they were known by. And that's what I'm going to be rating albums for. Each record, each website or magazine had their own thing. And I'll tell y'all right now, in my opinion, I listen to this album pretty often, pretty regularly. Some of these albums will be re-reviewing. I'll have to get them a fresh listen for the first time in a couple of years. But for me, if I was to rate the Black Album out of 5 mics, we'll talk about that in a minute. And we're going to go through each chapter, and I'll be checking in and out with the chat. So let me know, y'all, how many mics would you give the Black Album? And it's a half rated. You can go as high as 5 mics, 4.5, whatever. All right, let's jump into it. And this is from Pitchfork. Album, the Black Album by Jay-Z, 2003. They have it as genre rap label, Rockefeller. Review November 26, 2023. First intro. And let me just double check. It looks like for each record, I'm not sure if the same person reviewed this. It looks like a different person might have reviewed each record. I'm not sure. They just had the artist. So first off, starting with intro, it says intro with Ryan Schreibler. For Sean Carter, the last 7 years have been ridiculous. In 1996, he came up from an impoverished childhood in New York City's Marcy Projects to record a debut that would eventually come to be considered one of hip-hop's landmark albums, and spent the succeeding 6 years dominating Billboard charts, filling the East Coast void left by Biggie's death, and building a hip-hop empire to rival Puffy's Bad Boy Entertainment. In that time, he's seen as many failures as success. Critics panned him for selling out after the critical reverence for Reasonable Doubt. La Rock Familia was a disaster from any angle, and Jay-Z standards. Last year, The Blueprint 2 couldn't even claim to be a commercial success. Still, he's come out on top time and again. Today, he's reclaimed the title as hip-hop's reigning MC, and his Rockefeller record label, clothing line, and film company together are said to be valued at more than $4.4 billion. So, oh, never mind. It's a picture. I thought that was the end of the quote. So why would he want out now? At the peak of his popularity, the Black Album, touted as his final release, offers some answers, though none is clear as what may or may not be the truth. That's what? That it's all an elaborate publicity stunt, or maybe it's not. Jay has cut an album every year for the past 7 years. That he wanted a break of some sort, now it's understandable. Certain lyrics hint that this isn't the last record he'll cut. But if that's true, will his game still be as tight when he gets around to the comeback? It's anyone's guess, and the mystery is part of what makes the album such an intriguing listen. The prospect of hip-hop's finest producers laying down tracks for the final LP from the rap world's brightest talent has made the Black Album one of the most anticipated rap albums of the decade. What's stunning is that it delivers rap's greatest career ending since Outkast's Think On Ya. Even in falling short of Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt in 2001's The Blueprint, it manages to eclipse 1999's brilliant Volume 3, Life and Times of S. Carter, as his third best album, which in itself makes it one of the year's best. In light of the hype this record receives for its choice of beat makers, we egomanically match the personalities of our staff writers to jayz producers. However, we regret that we cannot take the concept to its logical extreme and cease operations after publishing it. So yeah, it sounds like that they let a different writer rate every record. And Pitchfork gave the entire album a 8.0 out of 10, which I'll tell y'all some bullshit. It's definitely higher than 8.0 on any standard. But so in the intro, they talk about that the Rockefeller Records, his clothing line, his movies were were estimated to be worth about 4.4 billion. I don't know where they got that figure from, especially in 2003. I mean, I know he sold. So a couple years later, he would end up selling his share of Rockaware. I want to say for like maybe $700 million or something. I have to look up the exact number because he bought the majority share from Dame Dash. I can't remember if Biggs held on to his. Biggs may have held on to his, but that's where Jay-Z made most of his money from. Like he made more money from selling he made more money from selling Rockaware than he made from music. I'm pretty sure because I remember reading that. He made more money from that. Like that was his first huge amount because it's really hard to make money from music. But he also owned his own publishing, so he would continue to get paid. But yeah, let's check out their review for the first record. But yeah, 8.0 is way too low. All right, so the first record we have is December 4th, Just Blaze with Rolly Pemberton. In this game, a stick and move with triumphantly spiral Shylight Starlings, Ho's mother Gloria narrates a dizzying tale of growth through adversity, unusual childhood circumstances, and the catalyst of our protagonist's career. The victorious overtone gives Carter the opportunity to apply his unwavering flow and powerful control of conceptual direction to his own personal experiences. When he details that he had demons deep inside that would rage when confronted, and that this is the life I chose, or rather the life that chose me. The emotional context of the lines quickly turns to dumbstruck awe, regardless of the reasonably simple blueprint tempered backing and familiar topical terrain. December 4th stands not just as one of Jay's finest performances to date, but Blaze too. I definitely agree with that. Hold on, what's going on, chat? The chat ain't freeze, is it? I definitely agree with that. December 4th is one of my someone said 5 mics. Definitely. You know what? Fuck it. I'll drop my score. I'm giving this album 5 mics. 5 out of 5. Y'all heard it from me. December 4th, Just Blaze. This is one of my favorite records. I don't even know how I can say that. Pretty much every outside of Change Clothes, which really worked as we'll talk about it when we get to it, but Change Clothes worked as like a poppy hit because Pharrell did the hook on that joint. The video was amazing. You got to remember in 2003, you still had to have like a hit record. So Change Clothes is probably my least favorite record on this album. Everything else is really hard to pick a favorite, but December 4th, some of his best rapping on the album, Just Blaze, smoked it. But let's check out, let's see what they have to say about number 3. What more can I say? Hold on, y'all. Track number 3, What More Can I Say? Produced by the Bunchanians and reviewed by Hartley Goldstein. What More Can I Say is a spiraling pinnacle of every element that makes a Black Album an unrelenting, inspired future classic. Bushman's, one of 2 unknown producers featured here, supplies a triumphant instrumental that serves as perfect counterpoint to Jay's trademark hubris and centenary braggadocio. I mean, the track is introduced by a sample of dialogue from Gladiator 1. It doesn't get more epic than that. People, merciless, horn blast, tender guitar licks, and triumphant stirring crescendos distract you when he identifies Martha Stewart as Jewish. But the one element that makes What More Can I Say a true marvel is that despite it serving as Jay's alleged last hurrah, it managed to sound more like a celebratory changing of the guard than a self-penned elegy by one of hip-hop's greatest MCs. And yeah, for real, that Gladiator sample is truly amazing. The production on this, and I'm gonna be repeating myself because like this truly is one of the best albums, one of Jay-Z's best albums. And y'all can do y'all Mount Rushmore in the comments. What will be on y'all Mount Rushmore of Jay-Z albums? I'll forget fast. So when I get to the end, somebody remind me to drop my Mount Rushmore Jay-Z albums. Let me know what would be on yours. On this call, and Chad is giving the album. Chat giving this album a 4 out of 5. Y'all tripping. At minimum, it's a 4.5. It's definitely higher than a 4. I used to have some rocket items. That's like Dr. Dre, right? Didn't the dude become a billionaire from the Beats by Dre headphones? Yeah, pretty much. Dre made most of his money by selling his majority equity to Apple. Threat was hard too with Cedric the Entertainer. Yo, for years, I don't know why. For years, I thought that was Mike Epps talking on What More Can I Say? A said Reasonable Doubt, Black Album, American Gangster, 444. So you got 3 of mine. Checking in from the gym. Salute. Checking in from the gym. In a few minutes, I'm gonna give away those other 5 memberships too. All right, let's move on. Record number 4. Encore, produced by Kanye West, reviewed by Rob Mitchum. It's a little hard to take Jay's claims for retirement at face value when the Black Album's first 3 songs all claim to be his last, and this one makes reference to When I Come Back Like Jordan, Wearing the 4-5. But the concept of Encore makes such nitpicking irreverent. A track like this leaves you waiting for the comeback. Kanye West whips up a soul revenue backing band complete with melancholy, triumphant line and Missing Me happy backup singers. For an imaginary mini gig, while Jay contributes a very live soul sounding performance. A posse chants for the hook with an MC encourages crowd participation, and the band idles between verse 2 and 3. Sure, it sounds gimmicky on paper, but if anyone could pull it off, it's rap's Grateful Dead, whatever that's supposed to mean. Keep on trucking, Jay. I love how in 2003, either this reviewer didn't know who the Grateful Dead is, or he didn't comprehend how popular Jay-Z would be 21 years later. So I can't name a single Grateful Dead album or record, but I do know that the Grateful Dead, their fan base is called the Deadheads because they've been touring for years and years. They like have people, they have super fans that can just afford to literally follow them from the East Coast to the West Coast, going to 15 different cities. So when Jay said he's raps Grateful Dead, he was basically saying that even if this was his last album, he'll be able to tour forever as long as he wants. And I mean, of course, he's still dropping new music, but he's proven that he'll be able to continue touring because this catalog is that deep. Also, we still need B-Sides Part 2. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we'll ever get that. It's so crazy that we haven't got B-Sides Part 2. Jerry is retired and come back more than Ric Flair. No, he only retired once. What does retirement even mean? The Grateful Dead comparison is hilarious. No, it's Cherry Garcia, the ice cream. That's the guy from the Grateful Dead. But no, their fans are called Deadheads, and they're famous for like 50 year. They crazy popular with 50-year-old and older white guys that would just like take off a month from work and tour with them and follow them around the world. Although they all transferred into Fish fans, but that's just me being me. I don't know. I just know Deadheads are still a thing. All right, let's check out number 5, Change Clothes. Probably my least. This is my As a Jay-Z fan, this is probably my least favorite record, but it's also the record that like it'll probably get the ladies out on the floor or something because it got Pharrell. Women love Pharrell. Pharrell brings that kind of that hustle sound, the ballroom. It's a light record. You gotta have both of them type of joints on album for it to be successful. So yeah, it makes sense. Change Clothes, Neptunes, and reviewer is Ryan Schriebler. The first single, and you know it's a hit already because it's rocking the world's most reliable and expensive hip hop production thing. But no, and here's why not. The Neptunes talented though. They may be they may have spread themselves a bit thin lately. Coasting on Neptunes by numbers beats and Pharrell's by now goddamn insidious falsetto. Change Clothes is unfortunately one of their worst productions since Buster's Passive Farcier. Okay, this let me finish reading. The vapid, forgettable chorus and cheesy piano loop are the obvious product of an off-duty in the studio. Jay fears fares no better. Like he almost knows it's subpar. Just spits out a couple recycled lines and foregoes his visual style to make room for crap like Young Hov in the house is so necessary. No bra with a blouse is so necessary. No panties and jeans is so necessary. If they could afford to cut the Dre produce, the threat the theater, surely this one of two Neptunes productions on a 14-track album could have been scrapped too. Apparently, it was a Dr. Dre beat cut from here. I don't know. First of all, I don't know what the hell this guy is because Pastor Cavassier is a hard ass record, and this why we be trying to gatekeep shit because this guy clearly is not a part of hip hop culture. Pastor Cavassier was a banger. That beat still go crazy. That record goes crazy. And I like the production on Change Clothes. Let me know. Like I said, it's my least favorite song just because it's not rapidy rap, but it goes hard for what it was supposed to do. Like I hear Change Clothes, it feels like summertime. You know what I'm saying? I want to get a French 75 and get a light linen shirt or some shit like that. You must know who Ron Schriebler is. Ron Schriebler founded Pitchfork in 1996. He was a longtime staff member until 2019. Okay. See, I don't really know who none of these people are like that. But this cat don't know what he's talking about. He compares it to Passive. That beat is crazy, man. Passive Cavassier was my shit. I didn't even know what cognac was, and I wanted some Cavassier. That joint came out when I was like 11, 12. Okay, Dirt Off Your Shoulders, Timberland. Uh, reviewer is William Bowers. This, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it, but it's so many bangers on this one. This is one of my favorite production beats, though. Let's see what they had to say. If you're old, you probably macked in a maroon Pharaoh 10 years ago, listening to Timberland get sticky with Jodeci. If you're young, you could still spot him behind the curtain of this anthem's anti-syncopathian and arcade Shogun keyboard coils. Don't be fooled by the title. The song is not a cave in to Charlotte Beers, the Dantra shampoo ad exec who was until recently Bush's Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs. What the fuck did that got to do with anything? Anyway, but that doesn't stop it from being a commercial for itself and its brand. Recapping the story of how Jay clambered from shooting birds at God while holding his testicles to being synonymous with overexposure. The song Lives and Dies by Timberland's battering ram beat and laser tag off Dirt is what is it? Dirt is egregious but exclusive. It's meant to shake balcony bar stores, but it only cordially congratulates only those who have been beaten down. The chorus is about shedding the stigma about the actual, I don't even know how to say that word, actualization of a capital dream, about legitimacy, about arrival for a guy ending his career. Jay's tone is suspiciously akin to pregame smack. Because I'm old, I hear the Jopsky love, Pee Wee's dance, and Jay's obtuse voice. Because I'm young, I acknowledge that he's larger than life. What the fuck is this guy talking about? I don't even know what the hell that review was. What the fuck is he talking about? He started talking about George Bush. Don't be fooled by the title of the song. It's not a cave into Charlotte beers. But that doesn't stop. What the fuck is he talking about? We just gonna move on, y'all. I don't know what that guy was talking about. Number 7, produced by Knife Wonder, featuring Sam Chinlock. Knife Wonder is one of my favorite producers ever. Like, I'll probably listen to more Knife Wonder than anything ever, probably the last couple of years, because I write a lot. He has this record, this collection of albums. I think it's up to like number 6 now. Zion. Just search Zion. And it's all pretty much instrumentals. A couple of them have rapping, but I listen to the instrumentals when I'm working, when I'm writing, when I'm editing and stuff like that. Because me, I can't write or edit with some music that got words in it. Let me see what the chat's talking about before we continue. Thought they were all transformed into fish. Hold on, let me hopefully it don't shut it down. Let me open up this other screen so I can give away these other 5 memberships, and then we'll read the review for Threat. All right, let me give away these next 5. And again, this is random, so I don't know how it decides. Let's see, membership gifting. I got 5 more. Let's see who got it. Frank G, Cayenne, Usement, No Kit Kat, Kate Hartley. Yeah, A said, I knew Ninth Wonder was solidified, but I didn't know it was this far back. I want to say this is the first record he produced for Jay-Z. Because 2003. Either that or was it on Blueprint? It might have been on Blueprint. I can't remember. It was either this or on Blueprint. I can't remember, but Ninth Wonder been in the game forever, man. All right, so Threat. I can't decide which stranger. The Little Brother producer Ninth Wonder contributed a track on Jay-Z's final album, or he's flipping a sample of R. Kelly. But it's 2003. The entire underground mainstream divide has been so flipped and conflated that it should come up as no surprise. Nor should Ninth's tendency to sound both hopelessly derivative and endlessly enjoyable. The track's rolling piano line, a classic boom bop breakbeat, recall a smoother Primo or Pete Rock on autopilot. Given a title like The Threat and Jigga's infamous street credentials, you'd expect a fairly macabre affair. But remember, this is a post-therapy Jigga who dates Beyonce and listens to Coldplay, not the crack slinger Reasonable Doubt introduced to us in '96. As such, the tone of the track is more comical than maudine. And Cedric the Entertainer's guest spot won't let you forget it. Here, Jigga puts Larry King on his ass and name drops Christina Aguilera, Bill O'Reilly, George Bush, Halle Berry, Warren Buffett, Joe Pesci, Sammy Davis Jr., Jet Li, David Blaine, and Frank Sinatra. And in the second verse, even tries, only has successfully, to twist them into verbs. Ella Gizza's thing. The song is a disappointment, unfortunately, an easy concept, lazily executed. There are a couple of decent lines, e.g., I will kill you, commit suicide, and kill you again. But it's far from Jay-Z's finest hour. All right, see, this is why white people don't need to review. This is why white people don't need to review rap albums. This man said threat. What? Hold on. Let me read his exact words. What the fuck he said? He said the song is a disappointment, unfortunately, an easy concept, lazily executed. You out your rabbit ass mind. See, I don't even know what to say to this shit. This is why I wish I could find these old reviews for the source. If anybody can help me find them, if anybody can help me find reviews from the source, I want to see how they compare to how reviews from a hip hop album compare to whatever. What the hell is this website? Pitchfork. I'm assuming Pitchfork is something like Rolling Stone, they don't really know rap like that. You out your damn mind. Threat is some of his best bars. This is complete nonsense, y'all. Complete nonsense. The source was brutal. Wonder where do you rank best of both worlds? Man, I haven't listened to that, and I haven't listened to that in years, mainly because I don't listen to R. Kelly. But I have it's so hard for me to listen to that. I haven't heard that shit in years. I just want to look up Threat. That is a good at. Yeah. Scratch was even more brutal. This is a review for an 8 out of 10 album, but every individual song they're reviewing, they're all player hating. Yeah, these I don't know what type of energy these niggas is on. All right. How much y'all want to bet they gonna be dick eating? Because record number 8 is Moment of Clarity featuring Eminem, produced by Ryan Sherbler, said co-produced by Mullah Omar. We asked Mullah Omar to write this part, but he wanted all kinds of special treatment. Man, you should have seen this rider. It was totally nuts. It just proves Mullah makes the perfect Eminem. He's got his gimmick. I would not be edited. And he just keeps beating you with it over and over. But for his outrageous mans, he still hits it out of the park. The same can't be said for M. Whose shit is all just the same these days. You get your minor chord, down tempo horror-esque piano sample, a white boy copying a white boy where shadows kickbox on the shit. Your looping plotting can beat some ominous strings and you're done. The only difference between this and Blueprint's track Renegade is that his sound was slightly less tired 2 years ago. Jay fortunately delivers a determined verse about his father's death and one for Beanie Siegel, but saying he wants to rhyme like common sense, I cannot express my disappointment. So thank God for Grant. I'm trying to think. What the fuck is Eminem's verse on Moment of Clarity? I'm trying to remember. I got to look up M verse on Moment of Clarity because I love Moment of Clarity. Hold on, Jay-Z. Let me look up M's verse. I got to look it up real quick. I can't play it, but I can read through it. Once I read the first bars, it'll chime me because I thought Eminem just produced it. I don't think Eminem is on this album. Let me see. I mean, it's on this record. What? Am I tripping? Eminem is not on Moment of Clarity. He just produced it, right? Yeah, I don't think Eminem even raps on this. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe he does. Produced by Eminem and Lewis. When the fuck? What verse did M spit? Jay-Z said verse 2. Jay-Z Eminem. Used to be to take me because the industry ain't making me hustlers and boosters embrace me in the music. How you making I dumb down for my audience and double my dollars. They criticize it for me at the all yo holler. A skill so truth be told, I probably be lyrically Talib quality. Truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense, but I did 5. I ain't been rhyming like common sense. Yeah, Eminem's not even on this album. What the fuck did they hear? Am I tripping, y'all? Eminem is not on Moment of Clarity. He just produced for that record. But also, they clear the reviewers like it's like when people were trying to talk about the Kendrick diss records. They clearly don't really listen to enough rap to know what he's truly saying. Let me say it in this guy's exact words. He said there are a couple of decent. What did this guy say about the common sense line? Hold on. He said where shadows was saying he wants to rhyme like common sense and I cannot express my disappointment. Yeah, the guy doesn't understand. He's saying that if he wanted to, Jay went to truth be told, I want to rhyme like common sense, but I did 5 mil. I ain't been rhyming like common sense. He's saying if he wanted to be that lyrical miracle rapper, he could, but that shit don't sell. It's wild reading these old reviews. They pissing me off, y'all. And unless I'm tripping, Eminem is not on Moment of Clarity. I know I kind of read through that verse, but maybe it ain't. Maybe it just didn't have it on there. So we got record number 9, 99 Problems, produced by Rick Rubin, featuring, reviewed by Brent DiCrusino, so some Italian dude. I don't know how to say that shit. Ain't It Cool? Rumor has Hollywood plans for live action Transformers film. Yeah, this was 2003. Yeah, the Transformers film came out in 2005. Yeah, 2005, I think. I don't know. 2005 or 2007, one of them. Okay, let me start over. Ain't It Cool? Rumor has the Hollywood plans for a live action Transformers film. Feasibility of visual effects aside, the true question of the production is how to modernize Soundwave, the behemoth audio cassette Ghetto Blaster, transformer for the MP3 generation. To the director, take a note from Rick Rubin's jayz soundbomb. Keep it old school. Some studio suit surely wants a giant robot iPod smashing trucks, but the original concept still slays. Likewise, 99 Problems towers over the Black Album, supposedly forward-looking tracks. Carrying a Decepticon analogy, the 808 kick quacks like Rumble's pistons as the back of his toy box boosts. Frenzy's screamy voice and belligerent manner alone could shake up an opponent, but he can enhance this effect by spinning a drum-like device in his torso. So too does Rubin eject seismic metallic blasts from his deck's chest like tornadoes on telephone poles, taking out Transformer. After years of intimate acoustic productions for Johnny Cash and Tom Petty, and his soaring work with Slayer and System of a Down, 99 Problems reestablishes Rubin as the motherfucker with a Swami's beard who invented the minimalistic trunk rumble. And unlike any other track on this record, it can be said that jayz vocals matter little. Closer inspection reveals dubious claims such as got beef with radio if I don't play their show. They don't play my hits, well, I don't give a shit. His lips rip like Laserbeak, but the meaning is inconsequential. Do jayz Problems run deeper than Rockaware insane durability or Bentley electrical recalls? His self-aware braggadocio goes back to those days of comedic Jamaican toast, which potentially amuse if you've ever attempted to turn down the volume. So, great album was fantastic. So it just sounds like this guy was a huge Rick Rubin fan. Rick Rubin is a big hippie looking dude. Let's see. I think it might. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2007. So I guess they probably had leaked out or not leaked. Stories started coming out about Transformers by the time this album would have came out in 03. Yeah, you're right. It was probably 2007. So it sounds like this guy enjoys the beats better than the lyrics, but I really enjoyed the 99 Problems video. It was one of them joints that they really couldn't show on TV like that. It really wasn't even that wild. I just remember them doing like a PSA in front of it. If you go watch the video now, it probably has the original PSA from like MTV or something like that. Hip Hop Carl Rick Rubin. All right, number 10, public service announcement produced by Just Blaze, reviewed by Rolly Pemberton. Dictating to a labored ringing piano, rolling thunderously high tone extended organ riff, jayz once again decimates his peers in their own game, handling the school of violent hubris in a manner that embodies not just mere lyrical supremacy, but actual metaphorical death. Hova is one of the few artists who can ask his listenership to follow his fashion sense while simultaneously schooling the talent pool of rhyming style in a single line. I got a hustler spirit, nigga, period. Check out my hat, yo. Peep the way I wear it. It's also a way of saying that the genre's old hat to him these days, even while it has his style, that so ridiculously raised the bar. A bold statement among bold statements, this track is masterfully of a style, regardless of brevity, repetition, or random use of quotations. This is another one of my favorite produced records by Just Blaze. Like it has like that churchy vibe. The what more can I do? You know what I'm saying, with the background tracks. It's an amazing track. Again, to me, this is a 5 out of 5 album. I love all of these joints. Let's move on. Number 11, Justify My Thug, produced by DJ Quick with Chris Dollar. Hmm. I didn't know DJ Quick produced this joint. The big story behind this track is that Madonna was supposed to give it live vocals but couldn't make the deadline. Instead, they went with Charlotte Gibson, a longtime backup vocalist for Whitney Houston, who pulls off an adequate impression. The track is all about DJ Quick's electro beat, so which starts out whomping and wears itself out throughout repetition. What? Let me finish reading. Sadly, not much else happens. It's easy to tag this as the simplest, weakest moment on a record. I don't think anyone could reasonably contest that. But on the other hand, it is nice and nasty and hilariously for how it makes Jay's thug life lyrics so unromantic and just for show. The lyrics moan on about gangster code and social life, but over the beat, he just sounds like he wants to get some ass on his face. Yeah, so I didn't realize till years later that this was a sample of a Madonna record, Justify My Love. Till I was listening to a playlist that's all samples. That's all the original tracks that have been sampled on Jay-Z records. Yeah, these reviewers, I had no idea. I don't know. They don't know rap. I really like Old Girl that they end up getting for it. It's so much I love about this album, man. The flow, the record production. It's just weird that I guess if you're not really into rap like that, I don't know what type of energy you have going in, you know what I'm saying, listening to these tracks, but Justify My Thug is another one. And we can say this about pretty much every record on here. I really believe that this has some of the best production on any hip hop album. Just like it feels like production kind of peaked in rap music around 2006, 7-ish, outside of a few people that'd be like, Kanye or someone like Jay-Z that really would take it to the level. But the general rappers, they kind of started going with cheaper shit. Like if you go back and listen to this, a lot of stuff made before 2007 is so complex. And then if you listen to something now or maybe from the early 2010s, it's just not as much going on in the backgrounds of it. Blueprint 2 condensed into one solid album would be good. Yeah, I doubt they probably did a real review for that because Blueprint, what was it? 2.5 or something like that? I don't know. All right, bro. Let's finish these up. Where we at? 12. Lucifer is one of my favorite. I keep saying that, but no, this beat is so hard. Number 12, Lucifer, produced by Kanye West, reviewed by Rob Mitchum. On first listen, Lucifer comes off a bit too close to flavor of the month material for an album that promised to avoid easy singles. The accelerated Max Romeo sample would be constructed as pandering to the Jamaican influence back in favor with hip hop and the refrain. I'm from the murder capital where we murder for capital. It's wordplay, a little two beginners level for Hope. Fortunately, his verse makes up for these slights by following an incredibly intricate structure, somehow managing to land on religious imagery every time the sample comes up. But Kanye West's beat retains a snaky bounce without going to the obvious reggae route. If it does indeed end up a single like Beware the Boys, I'll still be jagged enough to stand on it in the trend pile. So yeah, this is another joint that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like if you listen to the record Lucifer, I guarantee 9 out of 10 people will have no idea that Lucifer is sampled from a reggae beat. Because the way Kanye sampled that joint or whoever did it, because we know by this time Kanye really wasn't doing a lot of his own production. He would kind of finish stuff, but that's for another day. But like, if you listen to Lucifer, there's no way you hear that and be like, oh yeah, they sampled a reggae beat. The original one sounds so much different, but what they did is dope as hell. Lucifer is so fucking good. But where the boys mentioned, I don't know what that is. What's good, Inferno? But yeah, man, Lucifer is another one of these classic beats on here. And it's hard for me to think back what were the actual singles for this album. Oh, I remember. It was the couple singles I remember because he cut videos for it. It was Dirt Off Your Shoulders. It was Change Clothes, and the other single was 99 Problems. That's what it was. Yeah, I don't think Lucifer was ever a single, but that beat is hard as hell. Now, I'm going in, I'm gonna say lyrically, number 13. Let's see what they have to say. This would be how we know if these dickheads know anything about rap. Because Allure is pretty much agreed upon to be one of Jay-Z's best records. It's so good that the people that hate Jay-Z just because the internet decided it's cool to hate him, they started some rumor that Lupe Fiasco wrote this, and Lupe Fiasco came out. He's like, man, I wish I wrote something as good as this. So in my opinion, this is on the album. This is lyrically the best record, and this is one of his best out records of all time. So let's see what they say. Number 13, Allure, produced by the Neptunes, reviewed by Ryan Schrebler. This is more like it. The Neptunes come back harder from their substandard earlier offering, riding the string section slick enough to rival Love Unlimited. A posting kick snare combo and gunshots for a persuasive effect and good measure. Jay-Z is particularly on point, killing line after line like a blueprint standout. It's the penultimate Jay-Z track ever, and Bayou on a stormy oceanic orchestra. Hole comes damn close to teary-eyed. Shit, I know how this movie ends. I still play the starting role in Jovito's way. Allure is Jay-Z in eternal struggle with his vices, confident as ever he can give up the game, but even the title forebodes. He knows, and when the Neptunes downship and the chorus kicks and reality strikes, but every time I felt that, it called me right back. Oh no, this is the sound of a career high. Okay, they say they suffered that one because if they had anything bad to say, it was gonna lose all credibility. But yeah, Allure is the best track on there. His remix of that one Indian reggae song from the same year. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was off. I think that might have been off a mixtape. I know what you're talking about. The Indian track. I forgot the name of that joint too. And we had a final record they review on the album. My First Song, produced by Aqua and Joe. Reviewed by Scott Plango. Jesus Christ, these guys got some last names on them. After spending most of the record summing up his life and career, Jay-Z thankfully doesn't try to end it with a Cliff Notes version. He instead handles his second major breakup by coupling his typically self-celebratory language with vernacular advice from himself and Biggie, who drops in from the afterlife in a rare display of humility. Throughout the sentimental closer, Jay keeps his chin up, makes the song cry with a modest, bowlery tingle production from the previously unknown of Aqua and Joe Weinberg. Always the entrepreneur, Hove abdicates his throne and slips into his full-time CEO role with a series of almost memoir-like shout-outs that double as teasers for his upcoming bio, The Black Book, in stores soon. So yeah. Hold on, the comment says Shabler can suck my dick other than the majority of his reviews. Pretentious and childish at the same time. His early reviews are pretty messy. This remix of, I don't know who none of these people are. Back in the day, I didn't read reviews. Like when this album came out, I was 13. I didn't have the source or stuff like that. I think maybe my older brothers, they might have, but we would just listen to the albums and arguing about what was the best. And arguing about what was the best record back and forth on the bus to school. So I said I'll drop my Mount Rushmore Jay-Z albums. So my Mount Rushmore will be Reasonable Doubt, Blueprint, One, The Black Album, and American Gangster. In my opinion, those are his 4 best albums. Honestly, in no particular order. I listen to those more than anything else. Some of y'all dropped y'all's. Yeah, let me know. And also, if you want to, in the comments of this, because I want the live chat to go away. If y'all want to drop some suggestions for what album we should do next, let me know. I'm gonna try and do another one that's about 20 years old, so it'll have to be from '04 or earlier. American Gangster often gets forgotten. I love that album. I don't know. Let me see who I'm trying to think. Maybe someone's debut album. Maybe The Game. I'm thinking maybe The Game documentary. Maybe 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying. Said, what? You pick Hard Knock Life over Reasonable Doubt? Reasonable Doubt, no matter what, is on Jay-Z's Mount Rushmore just because it's his first joint and that was one of the best. My family was the same. We never read reviews, just each other. I like the Dynasty, but it's more all Rockefeller than Jay. Yeah, I don't count the Dynasty as a Jay-Z album. It's technically a Jay-Z album because it came out in 2000 and he was dropped. It counts as one of his because he dropped every year. But the Dynasty is really a Rockefeller album. I like that one. If I'm not mistaken, that's the first album that's the album that Chris and Neef premiered on. I think Freeway, right? I'm pretty sure that's the first album they had Freeway on also. But yeah, I'm gonna think of some more. This was pretty fun. It is 06. Pitchfork reviewed Clips Hell Hath No Fury in 2006 and gave it the highest score, 9.1 out of 10. I had seen them give a hip hop album before. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy got a 10 out of 10. Let me see. What year did My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? I feel like I was in high school when that came out. So that had to be 06-ish. I know it haven't been 20 years, though. But I did say we could do something that's 15 years old. But yeah, so I'm thinking maybe next time we go live, we'll review the the game, the documentary one. 2010. We got a minute then. Next year we can review it then. It'll be 15 years. Might do the game documentary. We might do 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying.